Another continuing with Apple, so it's the never-ending saga that is uh, Apple here. So they've been in hot water for some time. So we've been just discussing regarding their their war of words with different companies. Here we have Apple, we have Facebook. Then they had the issue of charging too much. Then they have the issue that's called BatteryGate, where it involves Apple was to pay a massive, I won't consider it a massive fee because 113 million is chump change for the big uh, company here. After being proven that it uses battery health to slow down older versions of your iPhone. So meaning with degrading batteries known as BatteryGate. So this was an Apple tactic that was initially discovered by internet investigators, which they tried to prove after noticing iPhones slowing down drastically. Obviously, you may have noticed that in previous years that you're an Apple user, that every time you update your phone, obviously from Apple, there was a sudden change. Slowly but surely, you would notice that the usage of your phone would drastically impact the battery in terms of lasting a day, less than a day, half a day, or even worse. Now, it's one thing to consider that maybe it's time to purchase a new one or upgrade a new phone. It's another when the company itself who's trying to sell your phone is finding a way or doing something about it to encourage you to fast track in terms of buying you for you to buy a new phone. And obviously this puts a questionable light whether the company has compromised its integrity among its customers, particular the older iPhone users, right? And let's see. There you go. Now, obviously, using iPhone, is a tremendous thing. It used to be, Nokia was the number one market in terms of mobile phones, right? And with the invention of, touchscreen for iPhones, they have surpassed Samsung and even Nokia in the marketplace. Now, obviously, with better technology, more reliability, you'd expect that when you buy a new smartphone, it would last you several years, not just a yearly thing that you replace right away. And is it being too greedy that you consider that if customers are not replacing their phone fast enough to generate more revenue for your business, you try to find a way to manipulate the interface, in this case the battery life, so that it would deteriorate faster, which in turn would you know encourage customers to maybe it's time for me to replace my phone, right, and buy a new one, a more expensive one at that, right? And I don't think it's a win-win situation here for Apple because you're losing customers here left and right if that's the case here. Now, according to the article, yeah, they were asked to pay a sum of 113 million. Now, is 113 million a significant amount of money that's going to hurt the business? Will they rectify their bad practices? The fact that they did choose to decide to, go this path, it didn't happen by accident. It was a strategy. It was a plan coming from the top that it was disseminated to the entire organization, right? And if you're a customer here, it gets frustrating if you think about it. You're willing to spend, you're loyal, brand loyal to their brand, and then this is what the experience that you're getting. And according to the article as mentioned, according to its past statement that it did not or admit or mention anything about the battery health problems. Obviously, Apple was initially speculated by iPhone users as a means to urge customers to upgrade to a newer phone in this case. And 34 American states joined together or band hands to investigate the problem, which is iPhone, which that stands for older phone versions of poor battery quality. And surprise, surprise, they were proven to be true. So in this case, Apple has agreed to pay the settlement, but here's the funny thing: it does not admit to any of the violations or crime that the company had done. So thinking that you know They're just penalized, but they don't admit to any wrongdoing, right? But at the end of the day, based on what the situation has happened, you know, it just goes to show that Apple is now admitting to anything thrown at them. However, whether they accept it or not, be responsible enough. You know, paying a sum of 100 million is chump change rather than losing millions or even billions of dollars of revenue with this said practices. And this wasn't the only time that happened. So in the state of Arizona, they get a settlement of 5 million. I think 5 million is a small amount. And then another settlement that occurred is the 500 million that they had to pay last March. Now, obviously, Apple is apologizing for the problem, saying that the company has let down its customers in the light of recent problems. Well, don't do unethical practices so that you can generate more, you can profit from your customers. Your customers are loyal to begin with. They will buy your products if you provide them a compelling reason as to why they should buy your products, and not give a reason not to choose your product and go to your competitors, right? We'll wait and see how this pans out, right?